So this is what I shared with you at the school visit. So we're going to go through real quick because there's a couple things on here that you didn't see at the school visit. But then we'll do a draw along. Again, normally I draw Gilbert, but you all have already drawn Gilbert.
I did it already.
I know. So we can kind of take a poll. Do we want to draw Gilbert again? Do we want to draw one of the other characters? We'll figure it out. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, as you all know, I'm Alex Willan, blah blah blah. I write things, I draw things.
I saw the whole story over.
Yep. You all saw these pictures of me as a kid. We already did that.
Actually, my Jeffrey kids did not because they were in the virtual one.
Oh,
So
so
I think you showed this.
Okay.
They did not see this.
So we'll go through a little bit. So yes, I am the youngest of three. So that's my older brother, my sister, and then me in the awesome red shorts. Easily distracted. That piano is still in my mom's house. Not one of us plays piano. No idea where it came from. It just lives there forever. But the one thing I did like to do was I like to draw everywhere I went. I would carry a sketchbook. Again, still pretty stylish. Something with keeping with the red pants going. Also keeping with the red. My Raphael Ninja Turtles pumpkin decorating skills here. Whatever this bird costume was for school, I don't know. But, you know, pretty cool. Might have been the inspiration for chicken. And yeah, but mainly I like to draw. I think of some sort of vase with some flowers coming out, which I kind of wish I still had. Cause I think that's actually pretty.
I still remember.
Yeah.
You just went draw everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere I went.
I was gonna actually say.
Do you keep all your drawings?
I don't know.
Do you remember who this is?
Yeah.
My dog Harley. She just turned 11, and she is in the background of a book that I illustrated that was written by Alan Katz. Oh, look at that! There's Harley. Harley's in the book.
You guys want to see that?
And at the end of every story, there's like a chicken.
Yep, the chicken shows up in all the books. So this is new. This was not at the visits you all saw, but a lot of my ideas come from different places.
Is that you walking the dog too?
That guy's got a much more impressive beard than I have. But a lot of people ask me where the ideas for the stories come from, and sometimes the image comes first, sometimes the story comes first. So my very first book, Jasper and Ollie, started as a drawing of a fox and a sloth that were friends.
I know that.
And so Ollie's easily distracted and Jasper's in a hurry. And that eventually became this book. So you can see even the way I drew them changed a lot. I really wanted Jasper in particular to look very specific to my version of a fox, and this one looked like a little bit like other foxes I'd seen. So sometimes it starts in my sketchbook, which is why I do love to just draw without any goal in mind. Just whatever comes into my head I can draw and have fun with it. But sometimes it starts with the idea first. I was out shopping a few years back, and it seemed like everywhere I turned was unicorn bags and shirts and shoes and toys. And I got to thinking, like, I like unicorns, but if I was any other magical creature and I walked into the store, how would I feel about how popular they are? And that kind of was the inspiration for Gilbert, was him showing up to the party supply store and having nothing but unicorn party supplies and being probably a little bit jealous because of it. So this is also one of the longest I've spent on a spread, because that was a lot of tiny little unicorn supplies. One thing that's also really fun, I don't have a sample of it, but unicorns in particular, it has a limited run translation in Spanish and Italian. And things I don't think about when I'm working on art is all of this text, ring toss, tubbo, glitter, bouncy house, has to be translated. And so it's always kind of fun because they have to fit it into the already drawn picture, which I'm like, oh, they probably are mad at me for that. And you can see Gilbert's picking up some slug chow for his sock slug friends.
Oh yeah.
Trying to be a good sock slug owner, so that eventually became this book, which started the whole Gilbert line, but it was all just for me being out shopping and thinking how jealous any other magical creature would be. So the ideas come, sometimes they're when I'm sitting there drawing.
Dragons was your second.
Yeah, because the unicorns, the last line of unicorns is dragons are the worst, so we moved on from there.
Mermaid dragons.
Some of you all saw this. When I first had the idea, it was actually a gnome named Nelson, not a goblin named Gilbert, but the very talented people that I work with to help me make the stories. The whole point of Gilbert's character is he has a chip on his shoulder because no one wants to have a party based on him. And we thought, well, gnomes are, people like gnomes well enough, but we're like goblins. People tend to have a negative feeling of goblins, so we switched it to make more sense why he would be complaining so much. So that was the initial drawing of Gilbert. I always think it's funny that he initially had different colored patches, and then I wasn't even consistent. So this patch went from green to blue from one page to the next. So, you got to keep an eye out for consistency issues. And then this is the version that's in the book, but I was able to give a little nod to his original form with the gnome statue there, and that introduced Chicken, who's in all the books. So once I have the story idea, this is kind of the next step for me, is as much as I use digital and everything's very technical nowadays, I use a bulletin board with index cards to figure out the story, because I know where it starts and I know where it ends, and I have to figure out what fits where. This is actually a new book that I'm working on now, that'll be out next year, I think. It's about a little board game piece that gets left out of the box and has to make his way back to the game closet. So you can see him, sneaking past the dog. That's a sleeping dog. But as you can see, I was a spread short. So I had to figure out, what to spread out or what to add to make that. And so it's just a really good way, a simple way to sort of see it from a bird's eye view, the whole story. So keep an eye out for that one. It's called Peace Out, the P-I-E-C-E, out. Also, once I come up with a new character, like with Yetis, I have to figure out what I want them to look like, and that often takes a lot of tries. I don't usually draw them the way I like the first time, so I draw them over and over again. For some reason, I really liked that this guy had a little belly exposed, and so I realized it kind of looks a bit like a thumb, which I found, just more disturbing than I wanted it to be. And yes, and then I work on my iPad and I create layers after layers, so I can create, a layer for the reindeer, draw that completely, a layer for the background. You can see I added this fence, but there's no, highlights or anything, and then this is how it turns out in the end. So just creating layers on top of each other. These are all the books. These are all the picture books. I illustrated 2 middle grade novels about Rever the Speedway Squirrel. And as I ended at the school visit, this is my sock slug Stanley that I made, who hangs out with me while I work on art. He's made from an actual sock with styrofoam balls for a body. Actually, at one of the schools I was at, I think that was maybe a different school visit, a girl came up and she was wearing those exact socks, the orange and green. So yeah, so that's a little bit more about me. Just want to make sure we're good on time. Oh yeah, we're doing good. So as far as drawing, do you all have any, who wants to draw Gilbert again? Yeah, already done that? Okay. So we can draw, so we have a unicorn. I've never been able to do dragons. They're a little more complicated. Even when I draw them, they don't look that good.
What about
But
Yetis?
we had Yetis, unicorns, or an elf. Do we have any strong preference? I'm hearing Yeti. Okay, so all right, well, we'll see. We got some time. We'll see what we can get through. So does everybody have paper and something to draw with?
I have paper right here.
Yeah, do you guys something to draw with? Gonna draw with your mind.
Where's the pencils?
We got crayons here. We got the biggest box of crayons I've ever seen in my life.
You don't make any mistakes on this.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Yeah, just go with it.
I do not know.
Make a crayon name. What did you say the name of your middle level?
It's called Rever, R-E-V-V-E-R, the Speedway Squirrel, written by Sherry Dusky-Rinker, who wrote Good Night Construction Site, that whole series, who is amazing. If she's ever in the area, I highly recommend having her come by for a visit, because she is a lot of fun, and the kids absolutely love her. And so it's Rever the Speedway Squirrel, and then Rever the Big Race Home was the second one of that. So which was really fun too, because that's all black and white. So those books aren't printed in color, so I had to figure out how to do all the illustrations in black and white. So Yeti got her first, so we'll start there. There's it. Well, I have a slide of the Yeti. There we go. All right, so kind of similar to Gilbert. We're going to do 2 tall ovals right in the middle for his eyes, one on either side. 1, and 2, just like that.
And really big eyes.
He does have big eyes, yeah, it takes up most of his face. But unlike Gilbert, because Gilbert has tiny little beady pupils, they have larger pupils, so we're going to do a bigger oval in the middle. Just like that. So generally speaking, when you're drawing characters, the bigger the pupils, the cuter and the nicer the character. So if you want a character to be kind of villainous, like the dragons, you make their pupils smaller. If you want them to be adorable, like the Yetis or the kitty canes, you make their pupils really big. So then we'll do, unlike Gilbert, they're pretty happy to just be hanging out. So we'll just put a nice little smile in between the eyes, or just below them if you have room. And then they got sort of big, fluffy eyebrows. So we'll do kind of 2 curved lines, one above the other, and then use curved lines on either end to connect like so. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Curve, curve, and connect them across. All right, and then we'll do a big oval for his face. So coming out the side of one, going all the way around the bottom and up to the side of the other eyebrow. And then you just kind of connect that oval between the eyebrows like so. Yeah, it's more or less looking like the Yeti. I said I don't get as much practice. Yetis came out last year. So probably the last time I drew a Yeti was probably a year before that. All right. Oh.
Hi, we have one more.
Visual aid.
Could he join you?
Join us, yes. We're going to draw more after this too, so you can join in for the Yeti drawing.
Can your
or
brother
you can
sit with you?
pick up. Yeah, you want another chair on the side?
Oh, that's nice, thank you.
There you go.
I'm gonna get you a crayon.
I'm going to kind of scooch over a bit. Gather around. Got your bookmarks?
Eddie.
All right.
Crayon too?
So, as you can see, well, it's like really the one thing that's consistent for all these is you got a little sprig of fur on the tip top of their head. So we're just going to do like a little sort of side-leaning M. We're going to do another drawing after this if you want. You can jump in on this one or you can wait till the next one. And then we'll do a curved line over and down, just past the bottom of the face. And another curved line.
I don't really know how to draw.
On that. What's that?
I don't really know how to draw.
That's all right. You can just have fun. All right. And then
I
we'll
don't know what drawing.
yeah. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3 little curves to show like his fluff. Oh, you're already getting caught up here. We'll do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, like that. How do I draw?
Sure.
I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and add the scarf. Only one of the Yetis has a scarf on. We'll make this that Yeti.
Which one?
The one at the very end, he's got a blue scarf.
Oh yeah, and his color.
Yep. So let's connect that line across. And then, so kind of off to the side, we'll do a line like that kind of curves out where the scarf goes around the outside of his fur. And then the same on the other side. And then in the middle, we'll do the long curve down. Another one right beside it. Connect that across at the bottom. And then do the little lines. Oh, come here. Come back, Yeti. They are shy. The Yetis are shy. So it's on brand. So we draw the little tassels at the end of this thing. And then do another one for the other part of the scarf, the other end of the scarf, and have it kind of come a little shorter than the other one. And it kind of tucks back behind the first one. And then we can connect it across like so. And then we can just sort of curve down and do a couple little loops like that. Obviously did not leave enough room for his legs, but that's all right. Yetis are huge. They take up all the space. So we'll continue that body down across there. We'll just have this arm kind of going off the page. Probably should have plotted this out better. That's what happens when you take suggestions for what to draw. And this one we'll have kind of coming up. And we'll have him, we'll see if we can have him waving here. I always forget which side thumbs. Thumbs are on the inside when you're waving. Okay. So we're going to use a big C shape like that for his thumb.
I'm doing it this year.
Which again, these are things that every time I draw a hand, I have to physically figure out which side the thumb goes on. And then we'll continue that off to the side. And then we'll do a big curve up for a finger. Another one. And a third one like that. And also consistent, Yetis always have 3 fingers on each hand. And then you can just add a little fur line.
I did 2 fingers.
2 fingers, that works better. I don't know if this is true, I heard in the animation most animated characters have 3 fingers instead of 4 because it's cheaper.
Oh.
It takes less time to animate and therefore you save money.
I
So if you did 2 fingers, it would save you more money. The less fingers, the better. So yeah, so you can add legs if you have room. I don't have room, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign the bottom of
I
mine.
have 0 legs.
But again, with Yetis, you can just draw the legs going off because they're taller than the page anyway. These all look great, guys. And that's how you draw a Yeti. So how do we turn out here? Looks good. I like it. I like it. Awesome. Very cool. I think he almost looks like he's got like a tie on. He's going to work. Awesome. Such a friendly smile, friendly wave and smile. That looks great. I don't think so. I think we have to turn the crowns in at the end. So, I think we started good on time. I think this goes until 1, I think. So, in between drawings, do any of y'all have any questions? You don't have to, but if you had any, this would be a good time. Okay. The only question is what's next?
I have a question.
Yeah?
When are you going to be back here again?
When am I going to be back here again? I don't know. Hopefully. So yeah, I think I did share with you all what my next soon. Well, the next book is going to be out. It's going to be over a year until the next book comes out.
Mermaids are the worst.
It is. The next book is going to be Mermaids Are the Worst, which will be out next year. So hopefully I can come back. when that book comes out.
Rabbit, unicorn, and
The new one. Elves are the worst. Those are the 4. Yep. So mermaids is going to be the next one. So hopefully I'll be able to come back and I'll be able to show you all how to draw a mermaid. But yeah, it's Gilbert.
Or a dragon.
Yep. Gilbert goes on a beach vacation. So yeah. So there's a Yeti. And then let's see. Y'all want to do a unicorn?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just.
I get a dragon. Because unicorns are kind of hard.
Unicorns are a little hard. So I'm going to tell you what, the easiest thing for me when I draw a unicorn is...
The only thing I know about unicorns is they have the stripe.
Yep, they got their magic horn around the top of their head. So let's go back to... I'm sure there's an image of a unicorn. There we go. Because their bodies are a little hard to draw, I always just like to show people how to draw just the head of the unicorn. That's the most important thing. It's got the magic horn. And that's what I draw in the books. So we're going to start with the eye. So we're going to do a curved line for the bottom of the eye. And so remember I was saying when you, does everybody have a fresh piece of paper? Do you all want a new one?
No, I can use the back of them.
You can use the back, whatever you want to do. You can have options. So remember what I was saying is like, the bigger the pupil, the cuter the animal. So of course unicorns will do the big curve up for the rest of its eye. I really didn't leave myself enough room to draw this already, but we're gonna roll with it. And then the pupil takes up most of the space. And then since they have big sparkly eyes, I like to give like 3 big circles of reflection. Yep, you can color it in. I'm going to color it in right now. So then you color in everything except for those 3 circles. This is the really exciting part of the drawing.
I always make a dot on my eyes.
You always put a what on your eyes?
A dot.
A dot.
Yeah, for like the color.
Makes sense.
I like things that are cute.
Yeah. Would you say Gilbert's cute? I don't know. Gilbert's kind of cute, but he's also kind of grumpy. So yeah, so you give him like a nice, full, sparkly, reflective eye.
Are you talking about this guy?
Yep, that guy's a little grumpy. All right, and then we'll do the ear. I'll tell you what, let's do top of the head, just a straight line, or kind of slightly curved line across.
Straight.
And then you notice it has sort of a big curve to its snout, so we're going to do up
That's really good.
and over like that.
That kind of looks like a mouse ear.
Kind of looks like a mouse ear, yeah, that's a good call. And then we'll just do the line kind of about halfway under. The unicorns are not shy, so now this doesn't work.
Unicorn.
The internal logic has stopped working. Alright, and then we'll do 2 ovals for his nostrils.
I don't know how to draw.
You don't have to draw an oval? You don't have to draw a circle? You draw a circle, but you make it flat.
That's way too far.
And again, if you want to, you can fill that in at some point, but
I
I'm
guess that's kind of like an oval.
Yeah, you nailed it. Perfect. And again, unlike Gilbert, the unicorns are just happy to be hanging out, just to be a part of everything, part of the scene. And then you'll notice their ears are kind of like, again, kind of like Gilbert's in that they're sort of like the shape of a leaf or a petal. They're just smaller and stick up a little higher on their heads than Gilbert's ears. Which people like to point out that Gilbert's ears are very similar to Grogu or Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
But technically,
Where's Baby
I
Yoda?
wrote unicorns before Mandalorian aired. So if anything I ripped off
For the
record. So Grogu ripped me off. Right? Expect to hear from John Favreau when he did. Alright, we're going to do a curved line over and back to the other side of the ear. And then just like we did for Gilbert, just a little curve.
You always gotta do the horn.
I know, we haven't gotten there. We gotta save it. We gotta save the magical part for last. Alright, and then we'll do a nice long line where the neck goes down. Yeah, we have seats over
It
here.
actually kind of looks like donkeys.
Yeah, well, it looks, because it's, they're horses with horns, so it's very much inspired by how I draw horses.
Or donkeys.
Or donkeys, and then we'll do another line for the other side of his neck. Alright, and of course, the important part, the horn,
I'm just gonna do it now.
right at the top of the head.
Look.
And you can do some angled lines for the ridges of the horn. Come on.
That thing's shy.
I think I'm boring the computer here. All right. And then you can see just a little bit of the ear on the back side of the
And what
unicorn.
kind of magical stuff on the horn?
Magical stuff coming out of the horn. That's a good call. So just like a little triangle for the little bit of the ear in the back. And then of course unicorns have long.
You know,
Slowly
sometimes
named.
unicorns have like rainbow horns.
Yeah. Yours has a rainbow horn. And then I do just a few more curves for the flowiness. Gotta be very flowy when you're a unicorn. It's important.
Chloe.
Yeah, and that's how you draw, well, part of a unicorn, maybe not the whole thing.
Guess we can draw.
And of course, you always want to sign it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, looking great. It's all look good. It's so flowy. I love it. Oh, we got the rainbow horn going here. Some rainbow action. These are looking great, guys. All right, do we have time for one more? What time there? I don't know if I'm getting kicked out of here.
They said till 1, so you gotta do
Till 1, that should be all right. Okay. So we'll do an L. Yes. We have time.
Hold on, let me do my magical horn.
Yep, you can keep working on your magical horn.
Okay, now I need a drink. So do I.
Okay. I was gonna say, do we need? Yeah. Got a few sheets here in case anybody
Let's draw
wants a
the
fresh sheet
L.
of paper.
Let's draw the L.
Yep, now we're gonna draw the L's. Which I don't know.
That's my plan.
Oh no! Oh no! Get back in there, drawing. Do I have a slide? Yeah, there should be a slide. This is the one that just came out.
Elves are the
Hey, there's an
worst.
elf.
Oh wait, I saw Yanni's honey lips.
Yep, that's all of them right there. Yep, so this is the new one. So this was my very first book that I made called Jasper and Ollie. About a fox. Excuse me. Jasper and Ollie built a fort. And then I illustrated this book written by Alan Katz called Got Your Nose, about a runaway nose. So yeah. Yeah, let's see.
That's Dragon Johnny West, Unicorn Johnny West, and
Yep, and elf. So let's see how well I remember how to draw an elf. Alright. So we're going to start in the middle with the eyes. So I'll tell you what, we'll just do two sort of slight curves right in the middle.
I need a new paper.
There's paper there. And then we'll do big curves up and over for the tops of the eyes. Like that. Looks a little bit like two little gumdrop shapes. Slightly not the same size, but that's alright. Got one eye slightly squinting. How do I draw this? Yes. Okay, and then
Wait, what are we drawing again?
we're drawing an elf. So we'll do some ovals right in the middle for the pupils. And then you can do a tiny little circle at the top of each one. And then color in the rest. So that way you get a little reflection. And if you didn't add the little reflective circle, you don't have to. All right.
I did.
You did. You're on it. All right. And then right between the eyes, we're going to do a little nose. Unlike Gilbert, elves have
No,
noses.
that's my dog. My dog doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Like when I bring over people, he always goes like, woof,
Woof.
like, boy,
He's like, who's this? All right. Then we'll do an elf ear on either side. So we'll do kind of a up to the point, down, and across like that.
It's like Gilbert's ear.
It's kind of like Gilbert's ear, but like kind of pulled a little taller.
Yeah. Oh, you say it's mine now.
And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Like that. You just like with Gilbert's ears. Do a little curve where the top of the ear folds over.
I'm not done yet.
You're looking great. That's great too. You are the first people I've ever drawn an elf with. No one else has ever done a draw along with an elf. So.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
then
unicorn.
a long curve across.
Next, can we do a dragon?
I think this is probably going to be all we have time for today, because then somebody else is going to come in here and chat about other things.
And because
And as we know,
it's not my first time seeing these.
the elves are pretty happy.
Oh, that's an elf?
Yep, it's going to be an elf. It's getting there.
This
And then
may
right
be
above,
shaped head.
we're going to do a big curve over, up and around for the hair.
Okay, that looks
Big old
kind of
curve
like
up
a
and around.
human head. Hey, that isn't an elf.
It is an elf.
No,
You'll
it isn't.
see. It'll all come together.
Whoa.
And then
That's supposed to be his hat, not his hair.
you can draw a curved line
It's his
for the
hat.
top of the hair. And then imagine that curved line goes behind the hair and then connects on the other side as well. If anything, it looks a little bit like a baby elf. Imagine his eyes a little too big.
Baby! Well, mine looks like a human though.
And then do little
Look,
curves
mine
for the
looks
sides
like
of
a
his
human
hair.
though.
Yeah, looks very human. And then a curve over each eye for its eyebrows. That makes it a little less baby. Right? No, still pretty baby. You know, elves were babies at some point.
Dancing cat.
All right, these are looking good, guys. All right, so now for the top of the hat, they all have that sort of zigzag brim to their hat. So we're gonna do a line.
He's still a baby.
We'll do a line up. I know, I drew him like a baby. Not on purpose.
I drew him like a human.
Like I said, sometimes the drawing just has a mind of its own. You just gotta go Go where it goes.
He's supposed to be grumpy, not happy.
Well, no, the elves are happy. Gilbert's grumpy.
We're trying
But
to
the elves
Oh,
are
no,
happy to
so-
do. So we'll do
Here's the-
up,
The
down, up,
Christmas
down, up,
elves.
down. Like that for the ridge of the hat.
Now he looks like a king baby.
King Baby! That's my next book. King Babies are the worst.
No, it's mermaids are the worst.
Oh, that's right. I already signed up for that. Alright, I'll have to remember that. King Baby.
In 2 years, king
I've
baby's
already got the character design ready to go. Alright, and then we'll see their hats are very curly. So we'll do a curve line like that for where the hat bends over.
I'm making a bowl.
And then
I'm
another
making a slap.
longer curve
Walked up in for the king baby.
for the King Baby.
Little
King Baby with the droopy hat. And
King
then
baby is an elf baby.
we'll do a circle at the end for the bell.
Now we go
Can you imagine how noisy it would be if we hang out with elves? With bells jingling everywhere they go.
Now he looks like an elf baby.
Then do 2 dots. Yep. He's an elf
Now the
baby.
bell looks like a sunball. Yeah.
And then a little curve
Uh,
under each of those dots.
It's a smiley face.
Yeah, I know, it does kind of look like a smiley face. Alright, and the last thing we'll have time for is the collar.
What about his body?
I know, we're gonna run out of time. I know. It's called bad time management.
Why are you making him a baby?
And there we go. That's the collar of the elf.
I'm joining his teeth.
This is why these books take a year. I have bad time management, alright?
There you go.
Where's the elf's teeth?
Nice.
There you go. That's how you draw them up.